tell us a little about the cocktails and the style of the cocktail menu that you created for Grey Goose here tonight?
Sure. So it's a small menu, but I tried to be quite diverse in the flavor profiles. So, we have a coffee drink. If someone wants like a little espresso martini kind of thing, we have a very orange kind of focused drink called oranges, etc. If someone wants something like bright and citrusy, we have a spritz, which is really nice, like easy drinking, refreshing, elegant drink. And then we have this rose petal. It's kind of like a martini. Very subtle, very elegant, very beautiful. So hopefully within those 4 drinks, we can find something for you.
And vodka is obviously a very popular base for cocktails all around.
Sure.
What would you define as your style of the classic or the contemporary vodka cocktail, and what do you think are the trends that you might noticed in the last few years in how the vodka cocktail has evolved?
I mean, I think vodka's always has its place. It's always popular. I think a lot of the top bartenders sometimes turn their nose up at vodka, but it has a very important place in classic and modern cocktails. So, for our particular style that we promote at Dante, my restaurant and bar in New York, it's very light, refreshing, elegant, aperitivo style drinks. It's things that are not too sweet, not too heavy, quite low in alcohol, things that you could drink 3 or 4 of and you still feel good. You don't feel drunk or your palate is not ruined before dinner. So we try to concentrate on this style of drinking, which I think is a big trend happening around the world right now. We're seeing a lot of bars promoting this kind of like style of like European style drinking. Much more take your time, leisurely, hang out with friends. It's not about just sitting there getting drunk. That's what we're trying to promote.
There's also this upcoming trend of vodkas that are far more distilled and therefore much more easier to drink. What category does Grey Goose fall into for you? Because you obviously work with different brands of vodka.
Sure.
And Grey Goose as well. How do you think Grey Goose fits in for you as a vodka?
I mean, Grey Goose is probably our most popular vodka for sure. There's a misconception that just because something is distilled many times doesn't make it better. You know what I mean? So, this is only distilled once, I believe. So it's like, you don't really need to distill it multiple times to make it any good. But, Grey Goose is leading the charge in terms of the premium category, super premium category. If you believe, I don't really believe in that kind of stuff, but some people do. But I think it's very popular. It's definitely a brand that our customers ask for a lot. And even in New York, we work a lot with Grey Goose. They're a really good friend of the house, and so we try to find new and interesting ways we can mix with it at Dante.
Yes. In the last few years, and I'm sure this is also true of New York, that craft cocktails and old world recipes have made a huge comeback. Is that true of your bar, Dante, as well? And do you try to use a lot of the forgotten recipes and forgotten ingredients and bring them back into the new age?
Sure, yeah, I think it's been a big movement in the last kind of 10 years to see this kind of like infatuation with like antique cocktails, vintage cocktails, forgotten cocktails. So we use those as our template, as our base, or the foundation of kind of everything we do. I mean, we are a classic bar that's been open 100 years, and we try to put our own modern spin or our own modern twist on those classic foundations. So it's worked really well for us, and it's something we're seeing not just in New York, but all around the world.
Okay. And maybe just to finish, if you could tell me the story behind a couple of these cocktails. Two that catch my mind are the Al Fresco Spritz
Sure. and
the Nouveau Espresso. You could tell us a little bit of the story about how these two cocktails came together for you.
Yeah, for sure. So the Al Fresco Spritz is just, we focus a lot on Spritz cocktails at Dante because they fit into that kind of style of drinking that we promote. So light, refreshing, all day kind of drinking, low alcohol. So this one is like almost the changing of the seasons when spring is just starting to come in to season in New York. It was around kind of April, May. We start to see the trees blooming, a lot of greenery, and a lot of the farmers markets. There's a lot of green things, vegetables, herbs, all these kind of things that are really kind of, I think, signal in the sign of a new season. So this one has lots and lots of green garnishes. It's really refreshing. It's really easy drinking. The Nouveau Espresso is our little twist on an espresso martini, which is arguably one of the most popular vodka drinks in the world, which is generally just Grey Goose vodka, coffee liqueur, espresso, maybe a little bit of sugar. This one has little hints of banana, coconut, white chocolate. It's got a pinch of cayenne pepper in there just to give a bit of spice. A little bit of a bitter amaro, which the guys here at Koko they make in-house, so it has a real bitterness to it. And then we shake it up really hard with some espresso coffee. So it has this really silky, velvety kind of texture to it with just hints of tropical notes and some spice as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And finally, as a mixologist, Are you more driven towards the basic and the classic technique, or the more modern concepts of molecular mixology? Where do you stand on those two fronts?
I'm definitely more of a classic person. Yeah, so I grew up in bartending over 20 years ago when molecular mixology wasn't really a thing. So we really started to really focused on classic cocktails from a young age, and that's kind of been my mantra, I guess, through my career. So I still try to uphold those kind of philosophies to this day.
And do cocktails have a space to be paired with food, and do mixologists work more closely with chefs now than they ever have, or are the two separate?
I think they're very, very similar. Especially if you work in a restaurant environment, it's very important that your cocktails pair with food. So, in our philosophy, we don't pair specific cocktails with specific foods. We try to pair cocktails with a wide range of foods. So we use a lot of ingredients that the chefs might use. So a lot of salts, a lot of vinegars, a lot of spices, herbs, fresh vegetables, different acids, different types of acids. So we use these to complement our cocktails so they can pair with different foods.
And in the time that you've been here, are there any Indian ingredients that excite you?
Yeah, many. I mean, I've been using Indian ingredients for many years, whether it's, this is like probably the most famous country in the world for spices. So, everything from cardamom to turmeric to, black cardamom to fenugreek to nigella seeds to all of these things that are quite unusual for some people in cocktails. I've been using them for at least a decade, so I love using these kind of Indian spices, yeah.
Great. Thank you. Look forward to tasting your signature cocktail.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I'll see you.